Hello and welcome to another video where I talk a bit more about the gun from the Gun in 60 Seconds video. Lee Enfield is the weapon we're looking at in this video today. Now this video is going to be quite basic, to be honest, because I think the Lee Enfield doesn't need too much explaining, if I'm being honest with you. I think there are not many setups you're going to really find that are needed for this one. And I think we're just going to roll straight into it. The Mountain Division, probably the best one that you're going to get. Always invisible to enemy recon aircraft, hidden to player control streak, silent movement, and if you're using the regular scope, you get that sniper sharpshooter. If you're not using the regular scope, it almost doesn't seem worth using the Mountain because you could get away with using all of them. The only reason you really want Mountain is if you're using that regular scope for the sharpshooter ability. If you don't know what that is, it's the ability to actually hold your breath whilst aiming with the sniper, so you can actually be a bit more accurate. If you've ever tried to pick up a sniper with a division that is not the Mountain Division, you'll notice you can't actually do that. So that's a major reason, but I feel a bit more comfortable if I am playing a bit more passive with this weapon like I do sometimes, because I'm not really a huge sniper. I don't really snipe that often, so you won't see me up in people's spawns, quick scoping, no scoping my way to the top of the leaderboards. But I think in general it's quite a standard and very successful division to go with. But if you aren't using a regular scope, you could almost say that you could go with any one of these divisions. I would probably say the next best one is Airborne, if you are someone who likes to get right up in people's faces, and if you're doing that with the ACOG, you could probably go and do that quite successfully. So we'll move on to the attachments that I like to use, which is a 4x optic. It's just a really nice sight to use on the sniper rifle, coupled with the ballistic calibration. It just reduces the sway to an almost standstill. You've got this amazing scope that quickly zooms in, takes people out without any trouble, and if you are a novice sniper, or if you're not very good, I think you'll find that you somehow step your sniping up a gear by having the ACOG on. It's just a real pleasure to use, and I think in some of the previous CODs, using the ACOG scope on snipers has not been as good, certainly not like the glory days of COD 4. FMJ is obviously a very solid attachment to go with on the sniper rifle. I think if I was not using the 4x optic, I'd probably go with FMJ as my next one. I see a lot of people using rapid fire, but for me, I don't know if it's just because of the game modes I play, which is mainly team deathmatch, and the playstyle I have, I don't really find much use in rapid fire. I think you're probably going to find it's a bit of a wasted attachment. Yes, you can fire off shots very quickly in the end, but I honestly don't find a situation where I need to quickly rattle off shots. Maybe if you are an aggressive sniper, it's definitely one to go for, but for me, not really a necessity. An extended mags, I think, is a bit of a waste because you get 10 shots per reload, so I don't really see much of a need to go with the extended mags either. I will say, though, if you are going with the ACOG scope over the regular scope, you'll find you hit marker a lot more, and I think that's just because with the regular scope, you're obviously zoomed in a lot tighter, so you're going to naturally be zooming in on a player's body, and obviously if you aim up with your crosshairs, you zoom in, you're more than likely going to be aiming around the hip to the belly, which is going to result in a hit marker. Obviously, this is a one-shot to the torso and up, which I'm imagining is probably just about under your rib cage. So it's a very small area in which you will get a hit marker, or compared to something like the Car 98K, where it only has to go to the hip and up. But you will find with the ACOG a few more hit markers than you're probably expecting, which was annoying at first, but once you get used to the idea that you've got to aim just a little bit higher, not a huge amount, but just kind of get it into your head that you need to aim in higher than you normally would do, you'll find a lot of success with this attachment. And I think if you play correctly, if you do get a hit marker, it's not the end of the world, and it's usually at an extreme distance or longer distances that those hit markers will become a bit more consistent, just because you are aiming from further away and obviously your accuracy isn't going to be as good. But for me, the optic just allows me for such a more mobile and versatile game that I just don't think it's going to really be much of a contest for the regular scope. If I'm playing on something like Gustav Cannon or USS Texas, I will probably 100% go with the regular scope, just because there are lots of long lines of sight. A lot of the other maps, I would say, don't have that, which is why I tend to go with the optic, 4x optic for that one. Basic training, I think there are very limited choices in my personal opinion for this. I think Lookout's the best one, just the fact that you can look around, get their name popping up above their head is really easy to, you know, get your target and approach the battle in the correct way. Rifleman's a good one. Just if you don't find you're too good with the sniper rifle, especially at close range, you can always bring yourself a secondary in the form of a primary weapon. Espionage is a good one if you find you're getting a few hit markers, or maybe there are hit markers that annoy you on the bigger maps and you want your teammates to pick up kills. Very good choice for you if you're a bit more of a passive player in that sense. And undercover, I think, is also a decent one to go with. Just the fact that your name doesn't appear above your head when enemies aim at you. Enemy death locations are hidden, which I don't think is really going to be a big deal when you're sniping, because you should have some distance between you and them. But the fact that your name on the reticle doesn't appear will throw people off at a distance. Pretty basic way of using this gun. Just having that ACOG scope that works successfully on a gun like this just gives you so much more versatility in terms of getting up close, being able to sit back and play a bit more passive without having to constantly change up your class and being afraid of what's going to happen because of how quick that ADS time is with the ACOG and how easy it is to set yourself up for a shot. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, do drop a like rating. Make sure you check out the regular gun in 60 seconds of this weapon if you didn't actually see it before. Subscribe if you're new around here and you want to see more videos like this or any other videos I might be doing COD related, and I'll see you very soon. Peace out.